Okay, welcome back. So now we're going to just do the second part of the stock valuation question, and it's always to prepare a trading account for the year ended, for some year ended. Okay, and the trading account is just the same trading account that you will have seen in junior cycle, and that's just, I'll show you the format of it over here because I just drew out the format without putting any figures in first. The heading is trading account for the year ended. Now, if you wanted to be more accurate, really, you could put in the company's name, trading account of Cape Limited for the year ending, but it is not necessary. You won't get extra marks for doing that in this particular question. And then it's just sales, take away the cost of sales, and it'll leave you with the gross profit. And you calculate the cost of sales by taking the opening stock, adding on the purchases, and subtracting the closing stock. And in accounting, when we put these brackets around a figure, it implies that it's a negative figure or that you're subtracting. Okay, so in order to create this trading account, we need the sales figure, the opening stock figure, the purchases, the closing stock figure, and then all together we'll have calculated our gross profit figure. So the first thing to note is the sales figure. Now, to speed things up a bit, I did these calculations already, but I'm just going to show you where they came from. So sales in a trading account is talking about both credit sales and cash sales. So it's all sales. So in order to get the total sales figure for the year, you need to multiply these out because the sales figure is in euros. So 800 sales, 800 units sold at 10 euros each. You'll have to multiply them together. 800 by 10 gives you this 8,000 euros worth of sales. Then 1,000 by 11, 1,200 by 11, etc., etc. And the same for this column of figures, and then we add them all together. So up here I have done some of this work already to speed things up. Okay, so multiplying each of these out, the credit sales, the cash sales, adding them all together then gives me 46,500 for credit sales, 50,500 for cash sales, and as I said, they both just go in as sales in the trading account, so I must add these two figures together also to get the total sales figure, and adding them together we have 50 and 46 is 96,900. So 96,900, and I'm just going to have two columns in this trading account, this one column and the second column of figures over here. Okay, so that's the sales. Now we must take away the cost of sales, but we must calculate what the cost of sales figure is first. And we start with the opening stock figure. Now the opening stock figure is a relatively straightforward calculation. We had opening stock of 3,500 units, but everything in our trading account is in euros, so we can't put in the number of units or calculators that we had at the start of the year. They cost 5 euros each, so the value of them is 3,500 multiplied by 5. So I've just done that over here as well. 3,500 by 5 is 17,500. So I'm going to put that in here. 17,500. That's the opening stock, plus the purchases. Now, purchases is all credit and cash purchases. In this case, this business only does credit purchases, but had there been cash purchases, we would have to add them on also. So all we have to do is multiply each of these out, 3,200 by 5, 2,100 by 7, etc., and add it all together. Now, I've done that over here also, just to make things a bit quicker. So that came to 59,300. So I'm going to add that on here, down here, 59,300. Okay, and then we add the two of these together because it's opening stock plus purchases, even though I haven't put in a plus, you can if you like. Plus purchases gives me 800 here, 16 and 7. Okay, so 76,800. Then less closing stock, we say, or minus closing stock. I'll just put in the minus just so you know what's going on here, but you don't have to put it in. This bracket signifies that you're going to be subtracting whatever figure for closing stock is. Now, we calculated the figure for closing stock in part A, if you remember our part 1, and we got a figure of 30,700. So I'm going to put that straight in here. That's the value of the closing stock at the end of the year. And so we're just subtracting this from the 76,800, giving us 46,100, isn't it? Okay, and again we're going to be subtracting, so this 46,100 is the cost of sales figure that we calculated with all of these, but we're subtracting the cost of sales, less cost of sales, from the sales to give us our profit figure. So again, I'm going to put some brackets around that and draw a line under it. Oops. So taking this cost of sales figure from the sales figure gives me 800, that's a 0 and that's a 5. Okay, 50,800 is your gross profit, or was Cape Limited's gross profit at the end of that year.